Hi, I'm Diane Flynn. I'm the director of the Beinecke Scholarship Program, and I am with Elizabeth Ogonek, who is a 2009 Beinecke Scholar. Elizabeth, welcome, and can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be doing this. I am a composer of classical music, and I I primarily write music for the concert hall, mostly orchestral music and chamber music. Um, I was a Beinecke Scholar in 2009. I did my undergraduate degree at Indiana University, where I studied at the Jacobs School of Music and graduated with a degree in music composition and a concentration in piano. And then with the assistance of the Beinecke Scholarship, I moved to Los Angeles to pursue a master's degree at the Thornton School of Music at the University of Southern California. Where again, I got a master's degree in composition. And then while I was there, I applied for Marshall Scholarship to pursue my doctoral studies in London, where I studied at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama, where I technically finished in 2017, but left in 2015 to move back to the United States to take a job at Oberlin College and Conservatory, and also to start a position as a 3-year position as a composer in residence of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. So I really started college with the understanding that I was pursuing composition, which is normal as a musician to know right away what you're going to be studying. And then went all the way through, and now I'm here.
Fantastic. And can you talk a little bit about now I'm here? Where is here? And especially with your music and your music composition, you know, when we talk about art students with the Beinecke Scholarship, we usually say we want people who will add some form of originality to their field or be able to, you know, create works or create new pieces. Can you talk a little bit about that and what you're doing and what your work is, please?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just to sort of preface the answer to that question, I really, the educational decisions that I really intended to make for myself were decisions that I had hoped and which have in fact turned out to be decisions that allowed me to really pursue my creative work at the sort of highest possible level. And so my decision to move to the UK, for example, was fueled in part because the structure of the doctoral degree at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama allowed me to work primarily with professional ensembles in and around the UK, which gave me a tremendous amount of experience just working professionally in my field at a very young age. One of those particular experiences was being able to work with the London Symphony Orchestra, whom I've written 2 pieces for, and who I've worked with on a number of other occasions. But it was really that experience that kind of launched my career in a sense. You know, from there, I took a position as the composer in residence of the Chicago Symphony, where I worked for 3 years. I curated their new music series, and I wrote pieces for the new music series and then also for the orchestra. And since I left the CSO, which was in 2018, my professional sort of freelance life has kind of ramped up. So right now I'm working on an orchestra piece for the LA Phil, for the BBC Symphony, for the opening night of the Proms. It's, you know, so these experiences that I have had really that stem from my education have given me the freedom to really take on these extraordinary projects with you know, some of the most amazing ensembles in the world. So that's kind of where I am in terms of my creative life. I still teach at Oberlin, although I'm in my 6th year teaching at Oberlin, but I will be leaving at the end of the year to take a new job at Cornell, which will commence at the beginning of the 21-22 academic year.
I was gonna say, you've done an amazing amount of work professionally at this. I mean, you're still relatively early in your career, but you've done such an amazing amount of work, and you have a website where people can see some of your work and listen to some of your work, if I'm not mistaken. If there's
Yes, that's correct.
That's right.
I'm really bad at updating it. Yes.
That's what it's like. I would be remiss if I didn't say this, because you have done some beautiful, beautiful pieces. If anyone's interested in listening, no, you're welcome. Now, Elizabeth, as somebody who works in academia, who works with students, can I ask you, what are some of the things you're looking for in strong Beinecke Scholar candidates, and especially for people in the arts or for people with music backgrounds, please?
So I think one of the most important things to me in seeking out Beinecke scholars and in supporting students who are interested in pursuing the Beinecke is a clarity of vision, I think, really a clarity of purpose in terms of a student's academic work, and as a result of, clarity of purpose, a clear understanding of what their vision is for their own work. I think it's really important that students have a kind of a robust experience already in their chosen field, and I'm particularly, I think, drawn to students who seek out or who take the initiative to seek out opportunities kind of outside of their immediate academic environments to really enhance enhance their experience, but also to sort of enhance the direction of their goals. And then I think one of the most important things is just, creative, well-informed thinkers, people who are really thinking about what they're doing from a whole host of angles. As a composer, as a musician, I'm always trying to get my students to think about things in a sort of kaleidoscopic way, so as to really be able to evaluate kind of their best creative decisions. And I think when I identify somebody who I think is going to be, who I feel might make a good Beinecke scholar in my own academic setting, they tend to be people who kind of naturally think that way. So,
okay. Thank you. And could I ask, again, one last question for you around the submission in the arts? We ask our students to prepare an artist supplement. Do you have some tips on how to do that, or potentially what they might want to include?
Yes, I think the most important thing is to make sure that artist applicants are submitting a small body of contrasting works, because I think that it's important to be able to identify risk-taking, creative risk-taking. As an artist myself, I value creative risk-taking because I think it sort of pushes us often tends to push us in directions that are sort of truer to our creative selves. And so my best advice would be to be able to submit your strongest works that are contrasting, or that represent the scope of your work on some level.
Okay, thank you so much. Elizabeth, thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking the time today to give us your background and your expertise and your advice. And I know that the students out there will really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome.